When I first went to Ghana 50 years ago, the dam had just been built, the lake was filling up. There was a promise of 24-hour electricity for everybody in Ghana. This promise was never kept, and it's still the case that electricity supplies, particularly to remote areas, such as the areas these boats are going to serve, are very intermittent, very patchy and unreliable. What this boat project offers now is the possibility of a positive contribution from the lake, and in fact keeping some of the promises that the lake originally offered to the people of Ghana but never fulfilled. And what it will do, through helping to cope with people's ill health, encourage young children to be healthy and give them a good education, is to deal also with the problem of modern slavery within Ghana. We have children, 250,000 of them across West Africa, working in the cocoa fields under slavery conditions. We have children who are forced into slavery to free fishermen's nets from the trees that are being drowned by the lake. So there are many problems in Ghana around the area of modern slavery, particularly in relation to children, and the boat project, bringing good health and the possibility of good education and development and a sustainable income to the people of Ghana, will help deal with this problem of slavery. It's a fantastic project, and I encourage everybody who sees this film to support it in any way they can.
Anamabo Fort you saw there, opening up the idea of this slave route, which I've been following for many years, is one end of the other end where this boat is going to, if you see what I mean. The other end is the White Volta River that flows into the Volta Lake, and this is an acknowledgement that I've been working at both ends for a lot of years. And as a surprise, Chandler Saint has come all the way from America, was working on the Fort end. He's sitting over there, I think. My eyesight's not very good, but hi, yeah. Thanks for coming all this way, jet lagged. And Professor Craig here is from the Wilberforce Institute, because they've been very supportive verbally. We hope they'll be more supportive in the future in other ways. But Professor Craig is, like me, a Ghanophile, and been very involved in modern slavery bill. And all this is to do in my head, in my heart, with the Wilberforce legacy for Hull. When I was only 11, I joined Wilberforce House in Mallet Lambert, and when I was 12, I joined Wilberforce cricket team. And though I got, I think in the first set of matches, I bowled 6 people out for 3 runs, I didn't get chosen. You've got to persevere. That's what this message is about. Just like Wilberforce did, I've been persevering for many, many, many years to open up the idea we should go back to where the slaves came from and do something about redeeming them, because they're still there, completely neglected. That's what I found all the way from the Sahara Desert, through Mali, Burkina Faso, North Ghana, where this boat is going to. I found neglect. And yet they shouldn't be neglected, because I thought Wilberforce inspired freedom and redemption. So this boat, to me, Wilberforce 1 in Wilberforce room here, spells out freedom and redemption that ought to be in the centre of the city of culture this year. So what I've chosen, because I'm not going to speak for very long, I've just chosen a couple of things that will give you an idea of what it's about. So there's a film, I think it's the furthest one, that's the one, Roy. Can you just pause it?
Yeah.
Wilberforce 1 is about the beginnings of making this boat. And when I presented this, I think 2 years ago, Len, wasn't it? Or over 2 years ago, to the combined clubs.
Yeah.
I presented films, the whole idea about the Wilberforce boats and legacy, and then I answered questions. I was on my feet. I don't think they realised. I was on my feet for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now that's got to be a record in Rotary, isn't it? But the pen wrote a few checks there and there. Here's our Anne Albert accountant, by the way, of how many years? 28 years. The whole thing fits together in a kind of a family way. And then this guy on the right is John Bainan, not John Benyon. we were looking for John Benyon, but he hadn't turned up.
I've been calling you that all these years.
Yeah.
I was in the Sahara Desert with John in '93 on a kind of a business for mission program, because that's what Anne Albert was doing, going to remote places and bringing the crafts back and saying, how wonderful is the African legacy? Let's do something about promoting it. Well, this is the first stage of promoting an even more remote area, nearly as remote as Sahara. And this is this river with 100 villages on it. I was the first white man in '96 to go to the village near close by where this boat is going from, Singer Village. If you look on Google, it's on Google now. The first white man to cross the White Volta River, walk 7 miles to the village, 7 miles back, and the women there were bringing water from the river there and back 14 miles a day. So the first thing we did was to put clean water in. But since then, all kinds of ideas have come forward with lots of professional people saying we can make a real difference here if only we had the equipment to actually do the job. Well, now we have. We've got mobile phones in this village. I've got a compound sat there. I can have a shower in. All kinds of things are available. What wasn't available was transport. Transport on the river to go and survey on the villages, and especially because I'd had malaria twice, a medical boat that could probably save my life and a few more people at the same time. So this means so much to me, because this is only the beginning. It's just the start of a huge project, and I'm so pleased that Hull, Wilberforce Legacy, City of Culture, and particularly Rotary has risen to the occasion, along with Seahorse, and here's Tony, who's designed the boat, and Vicky, who's been in between taking all sorts of nonsense from me for years now. Doesn't it seem a long time?
It does actually, yeah.
It's not going to be much longer for the next phase, because already we've had 2 more riverboats donated by Scottish Sea Farms, with others lying in the wings. And all we need to send them is a container, money, and 2 engines bought. Is that right? Yeah. So that's phase 2, because then we'll have the medical boat, we'll have the follow-up boats, and we'll survey all the villages linked in with King's Village Hospital. It's a grand design, if you like.
Today has been remarkable for the money that's been provided for the boat, but it's about support. The room is full. People who want to be identified with following that great course about slavery, but taking it a step further, trying to develop the area now in Africa to offer more prosperity, to deal with their medical problems. It needs public support. We need you on board. That's what it's about today, especially in the year of culture and the birthplace of Wilberforce.